I'm going to make everything beautiful. That will be my life. Elsie DeWolf. Hello, welcome to Laura's Library video edition. I don't know I'm already being awkward about it, but I was reflecting, and all of the media that I love to consume is on YouTube or Spotify or like Netflix or Disney Plus or whatever. But social media wise, I only have YouTube, and I guess Spotify I counted in there, and like LinkedIn. That being said, I realized I go back and forth between watching and listening to podcasts, and I love BookTube, which is video. Sometimes I put it on in the background when I'm doing something just to listen to them talk, but all that to say, I anyway sit on this couch or on the floor when I record these, so I just propped my phone casually up on a chair, and we're gonna do this thing, and now you're gonna watch me fidget. And Ella, you can't even see her beautiful face because my laptop is right there keeping us company. So let's get started. Please please what? Just please enjoy this episode because I am so excited. I've been reflecting on the books I've read and loved this year so far because it's June, which is wild, and that means it's halfway through the year. And I have grown so much as a person since a year ago and like the past 6 months. And I was recently talking to my friends about this. This is very early in the episode, like a minute-ish in to get deep, but it's a really profound thing that we only have one life. And I think we need to remind ourselves more often that we don't know what's next. We have nothing guaranteed in this life or after this life, right? We just have the present moment that we can be 100% sure of. And with that comes a lot of responsibility to build a life that fulfills you and makes you happy. And how I've been trying more and more to do that is to live like a main character, because at the end of the day, I am the main character of my life. And as I read more and more books that I adore, what they all have in common typically is a main character that I either relate to or can empathize with or learn something from, or, something that inspires me that I want to apply into my own life, like hobbies or places to travel or character traits, or when they're super kind or react in a situation in a way that I wish I would in that situation. Like I admire how they handle something emotionally or at work. It's all just inspiration of how I can be a better person. And I think that's a really beautiful romantic thing, a way to romanticize life, but it's also just inspo on how to live like a main character. Like the amazing, powerful women in Elsie Silver books and Emily Henry and Ali Hazelwood. And I'm just listing who I've been reading lately, but so many more books beyond that. And Taylor Jenkins Reid books. Like so many. It doesn't just have to be romance. Think of all the fantasy protagonists we read about. Those women go through war. Like, I can't do that. I'm a little weakling. And yet they do it, and you adapt to change, and they're resilient, and it's beautiful, and it's magical. And all that to say, very heated intro, that today I'm really excited to tell you what I've learned from these main characters and all the ways I try to romanticize my life and live it as if I'm reading the book on my life, and we are nowhere near the romance part of my life. It's nothing. Nothing is happening in this vicinity with this person in this house. So, on that front, I'm not learning much from them, but I have a few buckets I'm going to talk about today, which first of all, hobbies, because hobbies are so important to fill your time with things you love. Work is not everything. Don't let it be if you're fortunate enough to let it not be everything. I have a lot of hobbies in here. Things that I've learned from books and just things that make me happy, things that you can do solo, that get you out of the house, that get you in new situations where you can maybe meet someone. Hasn't happened to me, and I hope it doesn't for now, but anyway. Then I have a routine section, which I try to follow more or less every day, even when I'm traveling, and it just makes me feel like a lovely human, and it's a moment of self-care, I would say, but we'll dive into that when we get there. Then I have travel, a whole little bucket, and a few things I'd like to say about that. I'm super fortunate that I travel a lot for work. Sometimes it's really taxing, and it's hard to actually prioritize traveling for myself and with my friends because it's hard to fit it in, but I do, and I have a lot of thoughts on that. And in there is moving around the globe in general. So maybe not just traveling, but moving. Because if you think of small town romances, a lot of the time they're like, new girl is coming in because she's just had something happen and she just needs to get away. Or anyway, we'll get into that. And the last little bucket or point is inner work / emotional maturity, because I think to love your life is really hard sometimes. Okay, we all are human and we know that things happen out of our control, and acceptance is like the most beautiful, not easy, but the most beautiful thing we can do if we try. And once you are able to do it, it just makes life more enjoyable. And there's a lot I have to say in there of what I've been trying to do for myself to make me happier. Not just happier, but truly feel... Okay, I have a hair and I've had one in my teeth for so long, but this bucket is basically all the things I've tried implementing in my thoughts and in like how I go about my day-to-day mindset, which has made me feel like I'm a main character. Truly, sometimes I'm walking down the street with my AirPods in, sometimes not. I've started doing that, trying to be a bit more aware, and I just take in this life that I live, and I feel really grateful and happy, but a lot of that comes from everything in the buckets that I'm going to mention. So let's just get started. All right, for hobbies, the first one, obviously reading. I mean, you can see a third, maybe half of my book wall right there. These, I forget why I pulled them out. One of them I'm currently reading. The other one, I guess, I do really want to read. As an idea, I'm currently reading Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. And I really, really want to read, I think I'll read it next, The Life That's Waiting by Brianna Wiest. I have read everything this woman has written. I mean, I think there are only 2 books. I've only read 2 of her other books, A Gentle Reminder and The Mountain Is You. Both changed me fundamentally. I think it's mostly retelling you things that you should know, and it's kind of about feelings and like how to not self-sabotage. And anyway, I really love Brianna Wiest. They're very quick, easy reads. The pages are like pretty large font and spaced out. It kind of feels like a poetry book, but it's not. I cannot read poetry books. I've tried. I'm just not intellectually there. And hey, that's okay. So reading. Reading's my probably favorite hobby. I love it so much. I read in all mediums, by the way, because the next one I have is hiking / walking. I love to hike. 2 days ago, I got up at 4:30 a.m. I drove for 2 hours. I did a 5.5 hour hike, and then I drove home, and it was amazing. And I listened to an audiobook, which is reading, it does count, while I was hiking, and it was so magical. I saw a deer. I walked right by it because it came out like on the path I was going, and I wasn't sure if it would be scared of me or then I got scared of it because it wasn't moving and I had to go right next to it, and it was so endearing and special. The book I was listening to, I'm almost done, is called Outlive. I want to say the author's first name is Peter. So, yeah, Peter something. It's interesting. I think a bit too young to be listening to it, but actually it's great because I'm going to be less stressed about everything when I'm older because I'm already getting the tips and tricks that you should put in your life health-wise for longevity now. I think walking, I mean, apart from all the scientific proof that it's really, really good for you, I feel like a main character in a movie when I'm walking and hiking alone. And I have music in, or I'm listening to something, or like I said, sometimes I'm not. If it's like a busy street, or I want to listen to nature, or there's something else that my mind is thinking about and I don't need another stimulant like music or an audiobook. Walking is so therapeutic and is so mindless. You're just moving one foot in front of the other. And it's so good for you for all the like health reasons, but I just love it. I would suggest, this year I've gone a bit cuckoo crazy, but I walk everywhere. Like my best friend lives about an hour, 20-minute walk away, maybe a bit less. On the way there, it's awful. It's all uphill. But on the way home, I now walk home every time because it's through the city, so it's safe. That's so through the city, so it's safe. But like it feels safe. It's like downtown. It's fine. I love it. You notice so many little things. I feel like I always try and turn on different streets because it's kind of like a general direction you go. So which way exactly you can change it up. And I love now my work is really far and I would normally drive, but now I walk quite a bit to the metro because the closest metro station is not that close to me. And then I walk from the metro to my work, which is like 20 minutes because there's not one really close to work. But I love it. I've now discovered the neighborhood around my work, which I never would have done otherwise. And I mean, walking, think about it, like logically, it will get you in new situations that you wouldn't be in otherwise if you're just sitting in your car. It'll make you see new things and new people and new experiences. So highly recommend. Next I have instruments, and I love the guitar. I'm not great. I'm not. And I'm also not good at piano, but I have both. And every now and then, it's not often either, it's every few weeks I'll remember. And then I get into like a groove where I'll play maybe every day or every other day for a while, and then I stop again for a few months or a few weeks. But learning an instrument is such a rewarding and frustrating process at first, but it's really good for your mind. I'm sure that cognitive, like everything you're doing, thinking of multiple things at once, especially if you're like singing a little as you go, it's probably great for you. And it's just really fun. And think of the next time you're camping or at a cottage and there's a guitar, you can participate. And I think it's a really rewarding. I think rewarding is the best adjective I can give, and I already did. And think of all of the main characters we know that can play an instrument. There's a lot of them, so you can be one as well. Also, it's so easy to learn songs. Oh my gosh. My dad is a really, really, really good guitarist, and I didn't want him to teach me because he was already teaching me math, and that's enough, daughter-father trauma bonding that we needed. So I kind of taught myself, like, on YouTube, and you learn the chords once, you've learned them kind of more or less forever. Like, you'll have to practice every now and then, but it's fun, and you can just go on. I use Ultimate Guitar Tab, I think, is the site. You just type in any song you want to learn. I started with Someone Like You. I think that's the easiest because there's no F chord. F is so hard on the guitar. I've been playing for years, and still I will dread if a song has it, but I've gotten to the point where I'll still play the song. Like, I'll play the F. There were years where I would transpose until there was no F. I'm not kidding. Next, kind of on self-improvement, but more learning as well, is languages. I have a 303 or 4 day streak on Duolingo for Spanish. I used to have like a 200 or 300 day streak, and then I lost it and I had to restart, and I truly was devastated. Like, you do not understand. Starting again, it takes so much motivation. Anyway, I will not lose this streak. Oh my goodness. But it's such a fun little part of your day, and it brings so many benefits. Like, if you pick a language that is widely spoken, I'm lucky because I live somewhere where we speak French anyway, and I learned it when I was younger, but learn a language for a country you might visit one day or that's widely spoken around the world, and it's just cool. And you practice things in your mind. And what if you meet someone like a friend or someone more than a friend who speaks that language? You never know, but now you have the opportunity to discuss with someone in a different language. I'm taking a tea break because I'm talking so much. I'd also say, I don't have this listed because I don't do this, but I am moving in a few months. And when I do, I will not have any friends my age in the city I'm moving to, which is a little scary, terrifying, oh my goodness. But my best friend was saying I should join like a team for something, like a sport. I refuse to join a run club. I do run, but I've heard they're just like, everyone wants to sleep together. Also, so sweaty. And when I run, I have to have music. Like, I don't want to talk or get to know you while I'm running. I'm doing it for myself. Anyway, sorry. That was a bit of a tangent. But my friend suggested, like, a team sport, or like, I don't know, joining like a volleyball team or something. I don't know. I'm so bad at sports though. I feel like I would mostly embarrass myself. I was a dancer and a figure skater, and now I run. So it's like very solo things. I love Pilates in the gym. Oh, I guess I should have added that on Hobbies. Like, I have a little bit of a community. I did at the gym I was at. I just switched to my old gym. At Pilates, when I would go super frequently, now I just go to the classes at my gym, but having like a third place, but in more places than one, because I have like a third place at the gym or like wherever I do physical activity, but also like at the park by my place, like on the canal. I find like that's my third place. I just go there and read sometimes, or I'll always have picnics with my friends there. And a next one under Hobbies is go out with your friends. I low-key hate clubbing, like, so much. The getting ready part is so fun and rewarding. The best conversations with your friends, the pre-drink, whatever, all of that is amazing. The actual club part is horrendous. I do not enjoy it. Like, oh my goodness. Anyway, bars are the key, because bars feel like a continuation of the pre, because you're still talking. We will play cards. We actually haven't gone to a bar in a few weeks, and I'm gonna plan that next weekend. I'm going to the cottage with my two best friends, and I'm so excited. See, like, I just have such beautiful, amazing things coming up, and I'm so happy. But I'd say, like, as a general hobby, spending time with your friends, always a good idea, especially if they're fun and spontaneous. Like, you could go on a picnic, you can walk around a fun, busy street, like downtown, you could go to a bar, you could go to a lake, you could go on a hike together, you could do anything, and just leave your house. Like, that's how you meet people, you know? Dinner dates, I love doing that with my friends. I have a few coming up, and I'm really excited. Just like one-on-one with friends that aren't necessarily like my closest friends sometimes too. Like, it's fun to branch out, because think about it, when you start courting someone, or like they start courting you, you go on dinner dates and you just talk for hours and you get to know them so well. And I think as friends, yes, it's amazing to do all the activities I literally just listed to you, but having an intentional time to just sit down and talk, more than just how was your day or what'd you do today, but asking like, do you feel fulfilled at work, and what is your dream, and what did you want to be when you were a kid, and why did you veer off that path, and do you want to do a master's in anything specific? And I love fun, deep, random questions, okay? My friends got me We're Not Really Strangers for Christmas, and it was just the perfect gift. Like, it's me. That I would look up those questions online. So now I have them in the little cute red cards. So yeah, dinner dates. Then the next two things I have here are solo, which I love and I highly recommend. One, random ass things. So I got this app called Fever. I don't know if it's in the US, but it most likely is. And this app hosts events like around the country, and it's like candlelight concerts and VR experiences and like immersive art installations, which I'm going one for Monet, or it's actually Impressionism as a whole, but really soon. I already bought my ticket. I'm so excited. Go to museums. Just go by yourself if that's what you like. Like, find things that make you happy, that you want to experience and see. I love Impressionism art, and I am specific. I don't need to see the religious paintings. I don't know. They do nothing for me. I get really bored. And when I was younger, I had a bad impression of the museum, because I'm also not really into sculptures, and modern art is not my thing. But oh my goodness, Impressionism. I recently went to Paris, and I needed more time. Like, I was in museums all day, every day, because they have so much gorgeous, famous Impressionism art. But anyway, all of that you can do alone. And it really makes you feel like the main character. Are you kidding me? I have classical music in my AirPods, and I'm walking around a museum taking in art and staring at something for like 10 minutes. Everyone else is walking by me, just taking pictures and walking away. And I'm like, yeah, I'm appreciating this. I'm loving life. I'm living in the moment. If a book was being written and I was the main character, this would be such a cute little chapter of that book. And I feel like that's the truth for all of the hobbies I just mentioned. And I will say, I think I'm a bit of an expert hobby haver or activity doer, because one of my old like childhood friends gave me the compliment. She said that I remind her of Barbie, because I do everything. Like, you know how there's a Barbie for every occupation and every hobby and everything? She said that's how I felt, because it is true. Like, I did soccer competitively for a little bit, and I did dance forever, and I did figure skating, and at school I tried to do like all these I was in the chess club. Like, it was so fun, but so random. I don't know. I've always been a fan of try as much as you can, and as I get older, I feel less pressure to be amazing at everything I do. Thank God, because it was getting really exhausting. So you don't have to be good at your hobbies, that you're not doing them for a living. So anyway, that's the hobby section. I really think going out and doing something, one, makes you feel like you have purpose, and two, will make you happy. And that's what we want, because that's what leads to your main character moment. On the routine part, number one, I'm sorry, but waking up early, that's what makes me feel like a main character. That's not to say that all main character moments have to start with waking up early. Actually, one of my best friends live not an early riser unless she's going to the office. My best friend Jasmine too, now that I think of it. Like unless it's a weekday or they're going into the office specifically, those girls can sleep in. They can sleep. They can sleep and sleep and sleep. Grace as well. I'm thinking, and they have amazing, beautiful, lovely main character lives. But for me personally, when I'm up and it's like 6 a.m. and I'm going through my whole workout or my whole routine right now. I'll wake up, I'll go pee. I'm telling you all the details. I'll brush my teeth and then I will queue up a morning meditation on YouTube. I really like the ones from the Daily Calm. They're all free on YouTube. I quickly rinse my face. I put on my jojoba oil, something like that. I get my gua sha and I sit and I gua sha for 10 minutes while I do a morning meditation, which is literally just sitting and breathing, by the way. When I learned that meditating is not scary or hard to get into, my life changed because it felt a bit unattainable for a long time for me. It's not. It's really not. And I do feel the benefits. I truly do. Anyway, what else do I do? Afterwards, I have breakfast and it's usually an egg, some sort of egg. Today, I got a bagel, I put avocado, and I had an egg on top, sunny side up. And it was so good. After that, it's like 6:40 a.m. and I have my whole day ahead of me. I'll maybe run or work out, or maybe I have a class coming up later. I'll read sometimes in the morning. It's lovely. Outside is beautiful. Sometimes I'll go for a little walk and like I'll bring my tea in my mug. Like there's no point to put it in anything. There's no one outside. They're not going to see. I'm not going to look weird. And it's just so lovely in the quiet to be awake and like start your day. And then when everyone else's day is actually starting, you're getting already into the productive bits of it. I love it. I also feel like it gives me so much more time to do all those hobbies I just listed for you. I really think waking up early makes me so happy. And all the small town romances I read, to be fair, they wake up so freaking early because they're all like Western romances as well. And I think just generally, culturally, they wake up early because like the work starts super early, all the labor. Anyway, waking up early. Yeah, that's a big one for me for routine. I also think just taking care of yourself in general. I can't think of a time I've read a book where the main character, like a romance book, where she didn't talk at least a little bit about either like a makeup or a skincare or like that she would moisturize. There's always a little detail the author puts in about how this character takes care of herself. Like maybe she puts moisturizer on her whole body after every time she showers, or she like, oh, the self-tanning. Oh my gosh, every time I self-tan, I feel like I am a star. And there have been books where they'll mention really tan skin in the women, and I don't know. My mom thinks I'm going to get cancer from the chemicals in self-tanner, but I think I'm going to get cancer from the, like, sun. So, you can't win. We're all going to pass away at one point anyway. I'm going to at least be tan when my time is up. And at least I'm going to be tan now in my prime, and that makes me happy. I haven't put some on in a while. I've actually been really bad and going in the sun a lot without sunscreen, but oh well. Also, my hair. Okay, I go back and forth a lot between. Right now, there's some blonde in it. It's like the very top is my natural color. It's also very dark out now. And there's just something about me specifically being blonde and feeling fun and flirty and thriving. I had my brown hair and then I was dyeing it like a bit darker for a while and I really liked it. Okay, I call it brown, but my friends say I have dirty blonde hair. Anyway, find what makes you feel like you're out of your shell and like your eyes sparkle. That's the color that you should just stick with for a little bit until you feel like you want to change it up. And changing your hair and your style is okay. Main characters do that. You're going through different chapters of your life, and I'm all for it. I love it. I change my mind so often, and it's okay. It's hair. It's gonna grow back. It's like it's makeup. It's gonna come off. Try something new. My nails, I stopped doing them for a while. Now I'm in this French nail obsession, and I only do French, and I love it. It's like goes with everything and it feels classy, and I don't know, I think style in part of your routine, like how you dress and the clothes you buy and the jewelry you wear, everything makes such a big difference. Like when I wear my jewelry, which I have a few permanent bracelets and then others that I never ever take off, and like this watch that my parents got me, I love it so much. And when I have everything on, I just feel elevated. And why not, you know? Like if you find things that you never want to take off, don't take them off. Just don't. I sometimes Jasmine will FaceTime me and like I'm in bed and I'm wearing my jewelry and I don't notice because I just always have it on, and she goes, "Wow, your stack is killing it. You're always wearing jewelry." And I go, "Thank you." Like, yeah, I am. It doesn't bother me. Why would I take it out? I love it. Anyway, little jewelry tangent. But I think the last thing I'll say on routine is be kind to yourself and see what makes you feel good. Experiment with different things. But when you do think about, I'm thinking so specifically about Elsie Silver books right now. I think, oh my God, no, I'm thinking about Lucy's Score. Okay, I've just read the Knock 'Em Out series, which is Things We Leave Unfinished, or yeah, that's the first one. And then the one I just read is The Things We Left Unsaid. And I think Things We Hide from the Light is the third one and the final one, and I can't wait to read it. But the first two, so good. I was obsessed. It's my first ever time reading Lucy Score, and I love. Like, I cannot wait to read more of hers. But I think of her main girls, or like the protagonists there, and in Elsie Silver books, and they really do take care of themselves. And it's talked about explicitly in the book, which I love because it's not effortless, you know? We put effort into how we look and how we feel, but it pays off. All right, on the travel section, I think traveling and seeing more of the world is one of the best investments you can make in yourself, because yes, it can be expensive. There are obviously cheaper places everywhere in this world where you can go. Like, you don't have to be going to expensive places or to Europe during busy season, etc., etc. It doesn't have to be this big scary expense. But traveling anywhere, like going on a little trip, maybe an hour outside of where you live, sometimes solo, sometimes with friends, sometimes with family, sometimes with a partner, like however you want to do it, it broadens your world. Like it gives you a complete new experience and shakes things up and puts you in a new situation that you've never been in before and in a new location. And humans are resistant to change, but we do adapt. And we learn a lot from it about ourselves and about our feelings and about what brings us comfort and about what scares us and about pushing boundaries. And I truly think traveling has completely morphed who I am and how I've developed. And I've traveled so much since I was young, and I'm so thankful and grateful that my parents always prioritized travel, and we've gotten to see some incredible places together. Sometimes not the happiest trips as a family, but that's okay. Like, you learn from it, and I still got to see amazing places. And now I love solo traveling. I travel for work, so like sometimes I have coworkers, but there's also sometimes when you're just alone and you need to like decompress from all the work events. I travel with my best friend, and those are the happiest memories I have. Oh my goodness. I've traveled with past boyfriends, and you learn a lot about your relationships that way. And it's been great memories that even though we're not together, like the different ones I've been on trips with, I still think fondly, like you made a memory in a new place with someone else. And going alone is so fun. I highly recommend it. Anyway, yeah, see new places. And under that point, I have move. Think of main characters, okay? The small town girls who meet the like chief of surgery or the chief at the police station or the owner of the local bar, and he's like 6'5" and super hot and scruffy and has a ranch. You're not gonna meet him where you currently live because you've probably met most of the people where you currently live. But if you move, it's a complete new start and new people, and you just never know what's gonna happen. And there are hopefully and likely amazing, lovely people a little bit of everywhere, depending on where, you know, like given the current state of the world. But, you know, be smart about where you want to go. If you can move with work, take that opportunity. If you can move and try and find a job somewhere else, I know with visas it can be really hard, so maybe this is easier like within your country. But anyway, I'm not giving you the logistical side of it. I just think if you want to romanticize your life and live like a main character, move. Go somewhere new. And like I added that in there because I am doing that and it's terrifying, and I love my little life here, so it's gonna be really hard, but I think it's a good idea. Anyway. Okay, the last point is inner work / emotional maturity / feelings / I had no idea how to bucket everything I want to say into here. Number one, what inside makes me happy and feel like a main character is having a job that fulfills me. I am so lucky. Yes, I've worked for it, but just the way I ended up where I am, I love my work. I learned so much. I finished the day and I feel like I've learned something almost every day. I think I'm contributing to something that matters. Of course, it's not perfect, like it's still the corporate world, but I feel fulfilled, and I don't think my work is my everything. I actually try not to talk about it because I have a really weird, not imposter syndrome, but I think with the current state of the world, I never want to come off as if I'm like rubbing it in someone's face, because I would never want to do that. But inside, like that's the beauty of it. I don't even have to talk about it, and I'm so fulfilled and happy with my work. And I wish so much for everyone to have that feeling, because it's not my personality. It's not all I think about. It's a really healthy stress when I am stressed about work. And I truly, oh my gosh, like thank God that part of my life is going really well, because I'm still human and there are other things in my life, like the romantic side, which is nothing, where, you know, they give a toll on my mind sometimes more often than other things. So thank God work is good, because then it's like, okay, we can push that aside. Like that's a plus. The next is being very, very intentional with my friends and like my family and just my relationships with the people around me. More and more, I want to make sure we're doing activities that we both love, or just talking and being really present with each other and not distracted. And also in the moments when we're exhausted or just want to hang out and be stupid and like watch a funny movie or go on a walk. I don't know how to explain it. It's I'm listening to myself and like picking up the cues of what my best friends like sitting across from me want to do, and then we do that. And it's amazing. And I'm trying to be really deliberate in like nurturing my friendships. And I do travel a lot, like I mentioned, and it's really hard sometimes. I feel super disconnected because I don't see people that often, and I used to see people so often. So it's a bit of a change, but it turned into this beautiful thing of now I want to make sure the people around me feel the importance of their friendship and like the loyalty and the love I have to give to them. And crazy, but the Knock 'Em Out series by Lucy Score truly portrays this beautifully. The friendships, like the girlhood, like not girl on girl, but like the female friendships in those books, because they are also really long books. So I love that, because you develop so much more than just like the main character's love interest. You develop like the relationships and the small town vibe all around, and it's interconnected. So now that I read the first one, the second one was building upon people we'd already met. But it's beautiful. And the second one specifically, our main character never really had super close girlfriends, and she's more closed off, and it's so lovely and endearing to read about her making really good friends. And it reminds me of my friend group, and I love my people. So yeah, being super intentional with your friendships is awesome. Next is solo time. Super important. Makes me feel like a main character when I'm journaling on my own, when I'm walking, when I'm hiking. Like I told you, a bunch of the hobbies are you do on your own, and you need that. You need that. Also, when you're alone, maybe a sexy cowboy will approach you. Not where I live and not with the aura I put out, but maybe you. Oh, yeah, okay. I wrote listening actively and being empathetic. I do think that's a very important part of being happy and feeling like a main character, because you don't want to be self-centered, and no one likes reading about someone that's self-centered and egotistical in like a romance book setting or in a small town setting, or like there's a fine line between being confident and being annoying or self-centered. But I guess more and more this past year I've read about just really kind characters in like the books I'm reading, because they're very centered around like community and I mean, you just learn so much from these small town books. Okay, I've said that word or that trope so many times in this episode already, but it is true. Like, it's all around family and community and found family, like letting new people into your life and building bonds and relationships. And you kind of have to be a good person to want to do that, and for good people to let you into their life, you should be deserving of it and be a good person, which I hope we all are. It takes work. Let's get there together. Anyway, that's kind of everything. This was an interesting episode because I didn't necessarily like give you book recommendations. Well, a little bit. I talked about Elsie Silver broadly and just the Knockabout series. It's just so fresh in my mind because I just read it and I can't wait to start book 3. But overall, I'll leave you with, like, you can't be every main character ever. Obviously, there's gonna be psychopath main characters. If you're reading a thriller, there's gonna be, like, the quiet little girly girl, and sometimes she gets the good things happening in the book. Sometimes there's the, like, the bossy, super, super confident, like, workaholic, empowering, like, super confident woman, and she's our main character for that book, and, like, the male protagonist and the friendship and the love and whatever suits her. There's all these different tropes and types of women, so this episode isn't at all like what to do to fit one mold, and I hope it didn't come off that way. I don't think so. It's just a reminder to live your life how you would like to, because that's the only way you can be your own main character, is to do the things that make you happy, and then your story will get written more and more. Why do I sound like an inspirational, like, motivational speaker? I don't mean to do that. These are the conversations I'll have, like, with my friends, so it's chill, it's casual. I'm not trying to be your, like, life coach. I'm just saying, do things that make you happy equals good. There you go. I think we're gonna end it there. Thanks for tuning in from one fangirl to another. I'm really excited. I'm probably right now gonna have a little sweet treat and read. I do want to finish my tea too, though. Like, I've been talking. I'm feeling a little dry in the mouth. Keep living your life. Keep having big changes and learning from them. Keep reading really good smutty books, and happy reading.